Hey guys, welcome back. It is Sunday Funday, and today we are digging out the, I don't know if I'm going here yet or not today, but we're digging out the 44 dashboard. Digging her out. Yes, I do have the other panels for it. I got all them, but we're not concerned about them right now. So this is our plan to put in our Model A build. The LO Coupe. LO, what's it stand for if you're new? Leftovers. We are going to try and build this coupe out of anything laying around this shop and anything we might find at a swap meet or a garage sale or somewhere. Besides, like, except for stuff like, you know, brake lines and pads and that kind of stuff, master cylinder, that's all going to be new. Now, again, we'll go back over this again. The body's obviously a used body in mint shape. That body's 90% rust-free. The frame I picked up off a gentleman that was into it for way more money than he sold it to me for, and it is brand new, but I didn't buy it new. I bought it used, right? So that's why she's the leftovers. It's all leftovers. So I'm not saying there hasn't got some new parts on it. I'm just saying we're going to build this, you know, low buck. Now what's low buck? Well, nowadays low buck, I don't know. You know, everybody can argue that point. Some people will say they can build a car for 5 grand or 10 grand. Some people say 20 grand. I guess it all determines on what prices are out there, even on the used parts. But that's not what we're worried about, is what the value of it is we're going to have into it. The point is not to buy anything new if we can help it. All right? Unless it's new at a swap meet. So, I'm going to empty this old girl out today, again. Seems like that's all I do is empty it in and out, but that's all right. Let's go stir stuff, and I'm going to see if I can figure out how and where I want to place this 44 dash. And I'm not still 100% sure I want to use the 44 dash, because I have some other dashboards out back that I might want to use. So right now it's not going to be a super long day. I'm not going to get a lot of time in because I'm going out with some friends tonight. We're going to see the Highwaymen concert that's coming to town in Chilliwack. They're just, you know the Highwaymen. These aren't the original guys, obviously. They've all passed away except for Willie. But, you know, it's Willie Nelson, Waylon Jennings, Chris Christopher. It's, oh God, why can't I say this? Come on. Brain fart. Can't remember. Johnny Cash. I should know that. One of my favorite. God, am I getting old or what? Or is it just my mind is too focused on the Model A right now? I think I'm too focused on the Model A. I think that's where I'm at right now. So anyway, we're going to be going out later, so I have to be in the house right at 4 p.m. sharp. Get in the shower, get cleaned up, because we're going for Mexican first from 5 to 6:30. Going to drink us, you know, maybe 1 margarita, 2 margarita, maybe a beer, maybe another margarita. Then we're going to go to the concert, and we're going to have another beer, maybe a rum. Maybe we'll finish it off with a nice fine glass of wine. But we're going to have a good time. Anyway, so let's just get to it and see. I'm going to continue emptying this girl out and see what we find. Okay, guys. Emptied out the parts that were in the car. And now, there are other guys out there that are putting 44 dashes in Model A's. Because we've seen it, and I'm sure there's lots of videos out there how to do it. But I don't ever look anything up. You might wonder if I'd look anything up. I don't. I just kind of do what I'm going to do. And I can tell right now, this is just sitting here. So the first thing I should do, I shouldn't even have it sitting here loose like it is, because this chrome could fall and break it. But anyway, we're not going to say that right now. You guys might just witness it though. Anyway, first thing I can tell is I'm going to cut this lip off. It's already got a natural line there, but I'm going to cut it. I can tell down below here, and I have centered the dash, in case you're wondering that. I found center. I can see here, I drew a line. I'm going to chop that off, okay? Then I'm going to refit it after I take the chrome off. I'm going to refit it. It's metal. If I mess something up, I can just fix it. But with that being said, you don't want to just start cutting and cutting and cutting and re-welding and re-welding and re-welding. But some people have an eye for it, some don't. I don't know if I have an eye or not for it. I think, in my opinion, I have an eye for it. Where to cut, what to do, without having to look stuff up online what other people have done. I don't want to be that guy. Now, do I look stuff up online? Hell yeah, I do, because sometimes I do need to look stuff up online and figure things out. I admit that. But when it comes to this kind of stuff, I just kind of go with the flow of my own. Just kind of do my own thing, you know? Now, I know with them cuts I'm going to make, it's still not going to fit in here perfect, but I'm going to do what I'm going to do. Now, one thing I do know about these dash, I can tell right now by the contour of it, it looks like it's always going to want to, like, I've seen some Model A's done, they always look like they're facing up a bit, like how it is right now. I'm going to try and just get her down a hair. I'm going to try and make it so it's more level. Whatever it's going to take. All right? Look at this thing inside. Look at the wood. Look at these floors. Like, look at that. Like, just untouched. Oh my God. Yeah. Leftovers is going to be pretty nice when she's done. And with dashes being said, I want to throw out, big thanks to Sean. Look at this. Now you remember my dash for my shoebox, right here, my 50 chop shoebox. I welded in the speaker grate, welded in the ashtray. If you were looking at that dash at first glance, you probably wouldn't even think, if you even had one of these cars, you probably wouldn't even notice that. You'd notice the speaker thing right away, but I don't think you'd notice the ashtray right away. You'd be like, something's different here. But y'all remember I had all the chrome bits on there. Well, Sean got all the bodywork done, got it all in primer. There it is. She's all primed up. Even the glove box door is all primed up. So we're always doing something to my cars even during the week. And that's why I say to you guys, if you go on my Facebook page on Old Time Garage and you hit subscribe on that, you will see lots of reels and lots of little things you don't see behind the camera on Sunday Fundays. You will see stuff. And for those of you that don't know, I'm also on YouTube, but it's under a weird name. It's under Rick's_Old Time Garage. So Rick's_Old Time Garage, you'll find me there. On Instagram, sorry. So Instagram, Rick's_Old Time Garage, but Facebook, Old Time Garage. Subscribe there because you're going to see all this little stuff that you don't see on Sundays getting done. All right, so I'm happy about that. And what Sean has actually got right now in the shop, I give it to him so when he's waiting for body fill to dry or something, you know, on customer cars, he fiddles with my stuff a little bit. He's got all the inside window moldings. They're all chopped and fit perfect. He's body working all those next. Got to keep the ball rolling. With that being said, let's get this dash out and let's get the chrome off it. Tire makes a good workbench. So let's go hot rodding, using what you got. So you can see, I just want to show you the difference. So that there is coming off. I'm just going to trim it back there. So that is what I'm up to right now. My first step in installing a 44 dash, whether it's right or wrong, don't know. Sure, someone's out there that's done it before, watching this video saying, oh my God, what are you doing? You're doing it wrong. Well, everybody has their own way of doing things, guys, and that's what you guys need to all remember. Everybody has their own way of doing things, so you do what makes you happy and what you feel is right when it comes to this stuff, right? Just have fun with it. That's all it's about, is having fun. I'm having a great day today. trimming here and there. Slicing and dicing. That's it for the moment. Try and fit it in here. Actually, if the camera girl wants to come around, she can film. We'll see where we're at. Got a camera girl today. Oh boy. So, come around this side, open the door. So obviously this is center, or at least we assume it's center by Henry Ford. And this is center, so we assume that's center by Henry Ford. And if it isn't, well, we have Henry Ford to blame. Not that he's going to care because he's long but dead. Anyway, so there's several ways you can put this. I'm trying to have it so the dash itself is facing straight on. I've seen some guys in Model A's put it in. I don't know what they've done, which way they've done it. It's all good, but they kind of got it where it's up like that, if you know what I mean. This is kind of tilted up. I prefer to have it more. I've got a mark here. I prefer to have it more like right around there, because what I have to do is I have to keep in mind the door hinge screws here. So you got to make sure you don't want to, if you bring the dash down too far, it's going to cover that, right? So you want to get it up there. And I just got to slowly trim it away, and then I'm going to do a cut under here, like a pie cut, and bend this in a bit, because the door, when it closes, just roughly is touching this. So, and I don't want to section it all and shorten it, because I could just take a section out and shorten it, but then my chromes aren't going to fit. And I want the chromes to go back on. And I kind of want these little ashtrays to work. Now, some people have actually said they just get rid of the ashtrays. I like the ashtray on either corner. I can put stuff in it. Don't know what, I don't smoke, but I'll put something in it. And like I say, you can see right there, the door is there. I don't know if you can see it with the camera, if you film inside the door here. You can see how far the door's, this has got to go in at least another 1/4 of an inch in this area where my thumb is. So, but that's, I'm getting there. I'm getting there slowly. That's what it's going to look like. I don't see why we can't get this fitted today, and at least a tack weld on. So I'm not sure. Now, other people, on my my other Model A, I actually utilize this. This is your dash piece that unscrews. And I actually made my other dash, the 51 Ford dash I put in, I welded it to that, like this, which brings the dash this way further, but I can go underneath and unscrew my dash and take it off as a unit. So there's another option I have here. It's always nice to have a removable dash. It only kicks it out another inch. So I haven't decided what I'm doing yet. Do I have it removable, or do I just say screw it, whoop, and weld it on there? I don't know. I'm going to guess that probably a good 60% of you right now or more are going to say have it removable. You know, so we'll figure it out. Okay, that's it for now. We'll get back to you in a bit. Whoa! Slower is better. Okay, so what's going on, guys, is I'm just sanding it down a little bit with some 80 grit because I've got to do some welds on it. I decided I'm not going to make it removable, and I'll tell you why. It's not a big deal. There's not a lot of wiring in these cars anyway, but if I use the original header panel, 2 of the screws end up landing in behind the gauge cluster anyway. And in order to get the tool in there means I got to take the gauge cluster out. So I'm going to go that far. Well, what's the point, right? That's the only place where your wiring is anyway. And I kind of like it sunk in a little more than I do. If I use the other piece, it kicks it out 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Where if I just, you know, we're going to weld her straight onto here, it's in there. It's in there, and it's in there for good. So that's okay. So I've pie cut. I don't know where the little pieces are. Probably those little pieces right there. I pie cut them out of here, give her a little push in, and now it clears. It goes inside the jam where it should. Obviously, I'll show you in a bit here. The wife has gone back in, so now the filming gets shitty again. Anyway, so I'm going to have to make some filler pieces up here, because if I don't, when you open the door, you're going to see him behind the dash, right? Which is fine. But the trick today is to get the dash kind of tacked in place. That's probably going to be all we're going to get done on this day, because it's a shorter day. But that's okay. We'll finish it up next weekend. But we'll keep going here. We still got time. It's not even lunchtime yet. It's going to be lunchtime in probably a 1/2 hour. So the videos seem quick. They always seem quick, but everything takes longer than what it is, right? Like you guys always say, they build a car on TV in 1 hour. Why can't you do that? And then they say, then some people get real smart ass with me and they say, if you take the commercials out of it, they actually built that car in 45 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. With that being said, someone had said to me, you must do a lot of editing and stuff in your videos. I don't. 100% what happens is I turn this camera on, which I'm going to turn off in whether it be 10 seconds or 30 seconds. I turn it on, I film when I want to film, I turn it off. I turn it back on when I want to film, I turn it off. My wife just throws it up on YouTube for me. She doesn't know to edit it. She wouldn't know anyway, because she doesn't know what should be edited and what not, because she's not car savvy. She likes old cars, but she's not car savvy. And that's great. I like that. So she just takes it, all the clips that are on this camera, there could be 5, there could be 10, there could be 12 clips. She just takes it, plugs it in the computer just pushes all the clips together, that's it. There's no editing. I do absolutely no editing whatsoever. You are seeing the real deal here the whole time. Cheap, nasty camera, dirt on the lens, people always say. You know, maybe the speaker don't work the greatest, I don't know, but this is about as real as you can get. And also, every single time you guys write into me, I'm going to say that 90% of you I write back to. I don't write stories, but I was like, thanks, awesome, cool, hell yeah. That's me. Not my wife, not the internet, not anyone. That is me writing back to you, 100%. So, hey, that's what's going on. So what are you guys up to this Sunday? Let me know. Some of you guys always tell me your stories. Anyone got some old cars and pictures from back in the day? Like, a lot of my people that follow me, my age group seems to be from their 50s to their 80s, according to the thing online. So that tells you whatever. Anyway, it tells you all that crap. I don't understand it. You guys must have pictures of hot rods you had in days gone by. Show me some pictures. Send me some pictures. If you don't want to post them on my Facebook page, or like on my page here on the YouTube video, you can write to me at oldtimegarage@hotmail.com. It's all one word, old, T-I-M-E, garage @hotmail.com. Don't get upset if I don't get it. Sometimes stuff goes to my junk mail or my spam, and I may not see that because I rarely look in there. I rarely look at my Hotmail, period. But I do look at it. I probably look at it every second or third day. I don't look at it every day. I just don't. I don't know. So, but yeah, send me some pictures. I love to see the pictures. But let's continue on sanding this dash so we can get this done. At least we can get it tacked into place today, right? Hell yeah, we're bringing all you guys with us today. We're having a good time on this Sunday. All right, we got our dash all sanded down. Good enough for now. Still needs a little cleanup. Still got to do the ashtrays and stuff like that, but that's plenty good for now. So, I guess it's time to set it in there. But before I set it in there, I'm going to go in the house and have a little lunch. Walk through the pouring rain. It is raining today. It's just coming down. But as your local weatherman here, because I always tell you guys the weather, what's going on in Chilliwack. Again, we've had no snow this year so far. Hell yeah, screw you, Mother Nature. Don't need that white shit. Second off, it is rain right till Monday. Tuesday, high of 14. If you want me to put that in Fahrenheit, then you just double it, which is 28, and you add 30, so that's 58. Wednesday, 16. Thursday, 16. Friday, 14. Doors open, sun's blazing. I love it. And that's the beginning of February for us in Chilliwack. We always usually have snow, so I don't know what's going on this year, but this will be 2 years in a row if we make it out. And I'm loving it, because I want to see that stuff. I'll just go up to the mountains and see it. All right, I'm going to go have a snack, and I'll be back. Okay, so we're just prepping the inside here. I'm going to sand it some more, but it's no point in me filming all this for you guys. So remember I said I'm going to weld it to here. So I'm going to prep it for that. I'm going to sand here. I'll probably put some weld through primer here, and then I'll mask the weld through primer off. It dries really quick, within 5 to 10 minutes, because the shop's nice and warm. I'll probably sand this down and just put some nice black rust primer on there and leave that, because I'm never going to get back to it again. So I mean, I could leave it. That's never going to rust out in our lifetime. It's been there since 1930, hasn't rusted out yet. But hey, I'm here. Why not? So like I say, I'll spray my weld through primer, mask that, right? Put some black primer. All I'm going to use for that is right here. Or do I have it over? No, I got it right here. I thought I had it already out on the shelf there. This will be my, I'll just use some of this 3-in-1 black primer for down below. And I'm going to weld, well, the weld through primer is here, but I got a can started right there, our zinc weld. But I know there's a can out in the customer's truck I was using, so I'll grab that. So yeah, I'll hit the rest of that with the sander, and away we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a tack on the dash. I just want to tack the dash in there and make sure, whoops, sorry guys, make sure I'm happy with it. Make sure I like the look, the fit, everything. Still going to be a little more cutting, a little bit of, you know, wrangling around in there to get her, but we'll get her. All right, let's go find some primer and let's some sand. Okay, so I'm just holding the dash in there with some vice grips right now. Obviously we see I'm going to trim this back when it's in there, and I got to trim away down in there. I got to make a line and trim that off, right? It's going to weld onto there. So it's coming along good. I'm going to, you know, this will all change. I'll have to make a little filler panel. This I got to trim down a bit so it's more flush in. But you don't want to bend it too much or do too much here, because then my chromes won't fit. Right? I just tried them. So I had done a little pie cut, just a little one. Took maybe 1/8 of an inch out of it for sure, and twisted it in, or bent it in, tapped it in, and these chromes are still fitting, so that's a good thing. But anymore, and they're not going to. But it gives you a rough idea how it's going to look. Stand here and look at it through the back window. Right? I don't know. It looks good to me. So, and it clears the door. I'm just going to do a little trimming on the side first, like I just showed you, and clears the door, and now you have to remember, you have to allow for a door panel. So, you know, I'm trying to give myself at least a 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch is probably more what I need to do there. Time to get a door panel and padding. But on this car, I can probably get away with a 1/4 inch because honestly, I'm probably just going to make the door panels myself out of some plastic board, and then I'm going to go to Fanny Fabrics and just wrap it with some black vinyl or whatever color vinyl I decide. I'm not going to do nothing fancy there. I just couldn't be bothered. This is the leftover coupe. So we're using leftovers. Obviously, I don't have plastic board around. If somebody does, I'll get it from them. Somebody, you know what? I got vinyl. Oh my God, guys. Oh my God, I think I still got something. Oh man, I know I got some white vinyl here left over from my Model A, but if I'm not mistaken, there's the white vinyl. I mean, we're doing the leftover, right? Let's see, what do we got here? Somewhere in this shop, oh, I don't know where it is anymore. I will find it. I have got some real funky vinyl that's metal flake. I think it's like a greeny blue. Hey, it's free and it's leftover. We are working on the LO Coupe, the leftover coupe, and we're having fun today. I know, I sound excited. It's because I'm going to see the Highwaymen show, which I mentioned later. And did I tell you I'm going to have like 1 margarita, 2 margarita, a beer, another margarita. Then I'm going to go to the show with my friends and have a good time. Probably fall asleep halfway through because I'm getting old. Don't we all? I find it because you're mine. I'll walk the line by myself alone each day is through. And I'll admit that I'm a fool for you because I walk the line. Okay. Used our scribe. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Described it where that piece of here. I'll get a little closer up for you. Describing it underneath. Well, we're going to do a cut. Cut that off of there. Everything's looking good. Now, what you're going to see is the same thing you see through my other Model A. You get your window frame here. You're going to see back in here. Now, I'm jumping way ahead of the game because we are going to chop this car one day, but not yet. When I chop this car, I'm not concerned about this windshield. I mean, I'm going to hook the pillars up, but I'm not too concerned about that. I am not going to make this windshield swing out. My other car swings out. I'm not worried about this one swinging out. This is going to be driven. I'm building this car to drive all the time, right? I know. I say that about everything, right? But anyway, I'm building this car to drive all the time. I'm going to seal that window up tight. I don't want to swing out there. I'm just going to, we're going to urethane that sucker right in there, right? Something, or maybe urethane sometimes isn't the answer. You never get it apart. Just some nice foam in there, in behind there, and get it in there good and tight, and just leave it closed for good. Like I told you, I have got a vent out of an old Chevy pickup. You know, I think it's in the 50s, 54, kind of comes down, goes like that. I'm going to put that in there. The best thing I ever did on my other Model A was put the cowl vent in from a 32 Ford. I tell you, the airflow that comes through there is just unbelievable. See, it's trimmed back. That's the window frame you're looking at right there. So, you know, we just flush it here and weld it all the way. It's just a little bit of putty right there. That's all we do. So, and then here, what I'm going to do right now, as you can see, this is sticking out here. So I'm going to trim this, which is going to push that in on either side, on both sides. But I'm very happy with how it's working. I'm going to have to pin the other door on to make sure everything's good over there. But honestly, the doors can only close to a certain point. And if, you know, I really don't have to worry. I can see the dash is within that point. It's beyond it. But just to make sure, I will do that. Yeah. I think this is all working out good. May have to move. So if you see, there's a hole in our floor for our factory, our column, right? And here's our column mount. This is not in line, obviously. But what I would do here is I would cut this off, or I've drawn the lines, take a little piece out of here, a section out of here to line it up, take this piece, move it back over, take the piece I cut out of here and put it over here to get that in line. Alright, I don't know. Easy peasy lemon squeezy, isn't that the words they say? Beats me. But at the end of the day, all I know is I'm having fun. And that looks good. When you look in there, that's going to look really good. I don't want to have it when I open the door. There's this big gaudy looking thing welded in here. I want it so this just flows right into there. Flows right into that panel. And that's what we're going to aim for. So, yeah. So far, so good. I think we're doing good today, guys. Hope you guys are having a good day. Can't wait to hear what you worked on this weekend. Okay, so I wanted to make sure everything was correct, so I put the header panel up above the windshield. I wanted to get the windshield, a couple screws in there where it should be. So, as you can see, I got this door on, and this is just fitting in here nicely inside the door gap, and my chromes fit to the hole still. And I just narrowed this one down and chopped her in a little bit. And I've got it so the chromes still go on. My chromes are right there. So I got that so they go on. You can see where it was sitting out before. So I kind of drew a line and then, yeah. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is now I will pin this door on. Pin this door on and make sure there's clearance all the way around. I know we got clearance and everything else. I think it's looking good to me. I'm pretty happy. We're going to do something here. Don't worry about that. That may not happen today because time's running down, but we're not going to have this curve up. We're going to have to, we'll get the dash weld in place because then you can work with it more, right, when it's more stable. We'll get a couple spot welds on it anyway and a couple, spot welds here. And then we'll play with these corners. They kind of go up. I kind of prefer it just to come like this and go in is what I'm after. So, yeah, I might honestly be able to, I'm just thinking here out loud, and when I think out loud, don't pay attention to what I say, because it's usually 50% right and 50% wrong. I might be able to, I can see it's curving up here, so I can probably chop it here, tap that down, thinking cut this, I see the curve going there, cut this into here, and then I've got something under the metal bin that'll go into there. Yeah, anyway, I'm just bringing you guys along with me because I feel like all the time you guys are with me. All right, I feel like you're just right here. So, oh, I wanted to point out, so digging through all my stuff. So I'm digging around, obviously I tell you, I set the camera down and then I got my mind got going on that vinyl I was telling you about, which I can't find right now, but I've got it. I've got a couple different vinyls. As I'm digging around, guess what I find? I find a brand new in-the-box Model A deck lid handle. And I remember, which all of us do, when we're building a car, sometimes we jump the gun and we order stuff that we're a long ways away from. And then when we get to the point, like say we're building the frame of the car, we start ordering door handles, because that's what happened here. We start ordering door handles and trunk latches and all that. And then when we get to the car and we put the body on, we're like, hey, we better order some trunk handles and door handles. Then we realize we've got doubles. So then we throw the other one in a box and we forget about it. And then one day we go looking for vinyl upholstery like I just did. And what do we find instead of the vinyl upholstery? I find a brand new handle. So I put her on the deck lid. Brand new. The leftover coupe is getting a leftover handle that's brand new. And I don't care. I don't care if some chrome is new. I don't care if some chrome is old. It's going to be what it's going to be. It's free. Well, it wasn't free. I bought it from my other Model A. And I remember distinctly now buying two, because I remember when I put the Model A together, I had two handles in a box, and I was like, what the hell? And that's exactly what I did. I was working on the frame, didn't have enough money to buy what I wanted online, so I thought, well, I'll spend what little money I have on little shit, rather than save up for the big shit. And anyway, it all worked out. That's why you never get rid of anything. So, enough talk. Let's get the door on. My wife tells me she's going to buy me a tripod. She goes, Rick, this filming of you from the middle up, it's going to drive your viewers insane. I'm like, well, hey, Whoa, boy. At least I get a nice view of my ripped up jeans, right? I don't know. Buy me a tripod. It's just more stuff I gotta play around with and trying to set the camera up and all the BS. I'm just here to have fun. I really honestly not too concerned whether I do videos or don't do videos. Okay. Hot pin night media tapped down, but well, the door's closing. That's a good sign. Okay, I'm gonna get inside here and see how much clearance we got, folks. Okay, we're just getting prepared to do a couple. All we're going to do is a couple of tack welds. You know, so a couple tacks here, a couple tacks on the other side, close the doors, make sure we got our 1/2 inch gap. That's about what I've got going on here. I've got around a 1/2 inch of a gap there. But yeah, I tell you folks, holy God, I don't know what it's doing where you are. I know I've been bragging about the weather, but since I've been out here, since we started this video, it is just coming down right now, like so loud. Oh, there, I can talk a little lower. So loud that it is just, you can't even hear yourself in the shop over it. Look at it, it's just bouncing off the hood of the old truck there. God, what a day. I can't wait till Tuesday, 14. There's our other customer Model A. That engine's nice and dry, I'm not worried about that. It's good, but yeah, it's just, whew. Anyway, it's a lot louder in my shop because my shop has a metal roof on it. And except for in here, well, it's metal everywhere, but this was, you know, in here they had put plywood and insulation above, so it's quiet in the office. But up here, I've got 3 inches of spray foam, which if anyone's wondering, works awesome. I love it. But it's definitely, you can hear, if you walk in here and then to my office, you can hear the difference. But anyway, let's get the welder all set up. It's half set up over there, and let's get a couple tacks in and see where we go. Okay, I got a few first tacks down in the corners here. And I've got a 1/2 inch clearance from the door panel. Well, from the door to the dash, a 1/2 inch. And like I say, this is not going to have big thick upholstery on it. I'm just going to get some plastic board and put some vinyl on it. And my ashtrays, I'm going to pretend that there's a door panel on there. My ashtrays open up almost 3/4 of the way, because here, whoops, shit, that's fully opened. And when it's fully opened, it's touching the door. So, you know, I'm going to allow a little bit there. And not that I'm ever going to use these ashtrays, I just think it's neat that they're functional. So, I'm pretty happy with that. Curves into the post, or it should. Like I say, we'll do something here. I think what we'll do is we'll finish welding it up here, clean it up, get a couple tack welds up on there. And, or maybe we'll just get a couple tacks on here first. Then we can loosen everything off, and then we can play in these corners. Because I know I'm not going to finish it today, but I am super stoked. And everything, I took my straight edge along there, and everything is just right where it should be. Look at that. 1944 dash in a Model A Coupe, old school hot rodding. And you see what I mean about how, see the 3 column, see how that's over? Now you're going to say, well, if you move that over, then your gauges aren't going to be centered, but it will be. You'll see what I'm talking about. I'm going to move it over. It's going to be centered just fine. You're not going to want to move over the piece that I was going to cut out of the dash. You're going to want to move over the column drop itself, which is going to be just fine, because you're going to have a bunch of universals in there anyway going to it. So, yeah, because if I would have moved that piece over I was talking about over, then it would be off center with the dash, and we don't want that. So we'll move the other piece to accommodate it. I'm so happy with this. Beautiful. Let's continue welding. Let's try and get something finished up here today. Okay, we're welded solid across the top here. Pay no attention to this. This is where we got to do our slice and dice. So we got a weld down here now, where we put a couple tacks. On the other side, I've done it. Let me take a look at that. There we go. Weld it up in there, and again, I didn't weld here yet because we got to work on this situation. So I'll go around the other side, do exactly the same. Then we're into this, and hopefully there's enough time here today to at least tackle one side. We'll see. I think we're doing pretty damn good. Super stoked over this. Yeah, so that's good. Some people are asking what I'm going to be running for an engine. At the moment, I'm leaning towards flathead. I've got a completely rebuilt flathead here. It's got a bit of a cam in it. The guy I got it off, actually I put it in a truck for a gentleman, and he had it all built. I'm not sure who did it. It was done in town somewhere, not in my town, but in town. Anyway, I remember that, you know, he spent good money on it, $4,000 or $5,000, and this was like 15 years ago. So, and they ran it, and they said it was gonna be like around, nothing major, I think they said 145 to 150 horsepower. You may laugh at that, but I mean, for a flathead, that's doing pretty damn good. And a car here that weighs what? What's this car weigh? 22 to 2,500 pounds when it's done, I'm guessing? I don't know. But, yeah. So I'm leaning towards flathead. Some people are saying Hemi, Caddy, Nailhead. Well, hey, hell yeah. But remember, it's a leftover coupe. So I need to find one cheap enough. All right? They're out there, but I ain't looking to spend the money that they want. Not that they're not worth it. I just can't spend that money. You know, you find a good running Hemi that's been built that someone's got. If you're lucky, remember, I'm Canadian, not American. If you're lucky our way, you might get lucky and get it for $8,000, but you're well above the $10,000 mark. That's just too much for this car. We don't want to go that far. Okay, I'll show you guys what I'm up to here with this dash on these corners. So as you can see, the dash flares up. The original car flares down. Okay? Can't have that. That'll look through the windshield. So what I've done, remember it's only metal, and I just look and think about things and grab a felt and start drawing. So I've cut a relief line here, cut a relief line here. What that's allowing me to do is, if you look at this curve, I don't know if you can see this, if you look at this curve of the windshield, the original curve, like the body, it curves up like that. So there's that piece that was sitting up in the air, right there. Cut it there, vice grip it, right? Okay, that butts right into there, matches. So now we'll weld that first. All right, so this dash is going to come along and it's going to have a little bit of a curve down. Can always put a little bit of filler here if we want it, or you know what I mean? We can do a little bit of filler because we can't. Some of you might say, well, just lift it up and have it like that, but you're still going to see that through the window. We don't want to see that. So when I say a little bit of filler, I'm talking like a skim coat, just so you don't got such a high peak here. But it really isn't a high peak. We won't know till it's done. And this is throwing us off. So next, you know, we'll get that welded. Then we'll play with these, trying to bend them in. Pie cuts, remember people, pie cuts are your friend. They're not your enemy. You can always just weld it back. But we can't have it up like that anyway. So it's going to be okay, because the dash will come down and swoop into there. All right, we got all that ground down. I think it's going to work. We'll see. We'll get that welded up and we'll figure it out. All right. guys have a look at this, what I'm doing. So as you can see, I still got to weld it up here. But you can see how I've brought it down to kind of flow. Don't worry about this corner, you don't see that when the window's in. So this has just disappeared once the window's in there. So it's kind of what I'm up to there. Dash comes along. Obviously it's going to come along like this. We'll give it a light skim of filler here because this is a little low. I'm going to put a piece in here and that's basically it. And I've kept that roundness. And I'm going to make a piece that goes into there with that roundness right in there. And then flat here. So it kind of keeps that nice line happening. I don't know what you think of that. Right? Now, like I say, it looks a little bit flat here, so don't get carried away. Once we do a little bit of body work, we'll make that flow in a little better. It's going to take very minimal amount of body filler to make that look better, trust me. So the hardest part is just going to be able to make this little round piece, but that's not too bad. Basically just got to go in there. But I'll have to have a sliver of something flat in there, and like I say, then the round piece in here, then the flat piece in there. I'm liking it. I have no problem with it. I like the fact it's inside the door jamb. I like the fact that the chromes still fit. Now the one hole got welded here, so I can't show you which way does this one go. Anyway, I gotta re-drill the hole out, but anyway, we'll get the hole drilled out. So this one got the hole. This one still got the hole there, I think. And I got it upside down. Anyway, it does fit. Trust me, I'll have it on there. Yeah, super good. I like how that just flows into that. I'm happy with it. Okay, so we made that from this, right? You know. 144 dash in 1930 LO Coupe. Okay. We got her all welded up on this side too. Nicely done. All filled in. Bead there. That's it. That dash is going absolutely nowhere. And if anything, that's going to strengthen the car. Now you're joining that to that, right? That got to strengthen it for sure. That'll work out good when we go to chop it. Yeah. So, yeah, our time is almost running out here for the day. I can't believe how much I actually got done. I'm super happy. We got started at 9 and I got to be in for sure by 4 because we're out of here at 4:30. So that gives me half hour to get ready, but I'm just, I'm so happy with that. I'm going to pin the doors back on, obviously, right now, and then we'll come back to it. But look at that. My God. And you know, 44 dashes are just so beautiful. They're a nice dash. The one thing I will admit, there's one thing, you know, I don't know. I kind of want to keep it old school, the whole build, like I say, and using leftover parts. But I'll be honest with you, and don't get upset when I say this. Dakota Gauges, they do make original retro gauges too. They don't just make, don't think they make all digital. They make retro gauges. You saw them. I put them in my 58, or the wife's 58 Nomad wagon, and they look factory. You know, they're a little bit newer looking, you can tell. But when you look in the car, they look factory. Okay. They make them for the 44 dash. If you don't believe me, look them up. They're just gorgeous. They use all the proper little gauges. Everything is gorgeous. And there's that one part of me that just wants to put them in rather than having gauges under the dash. But gauges under the dash would be more period correct, right? So, you know, maybe just use the original cluster here for the speedo only and the gas. And, you know, or I could change them out myself, I guess, and play with them. But I don't know. But anyway, we're not going to go there. It's too much money. Can't do that. But I tell you, if I go to a swap meet and I see one that's got a used one for sale, or someone selling one they bought and they're not using, I'm probably going to be all over it. But that's about the only thing I would modernize that way. I mean, the frame's modern. So, you know, like I said, I'm trying to build this car more old school, but I know the frame is modern. So I just want, when people look at it, to say it's got an old school vibe. I get it's never going to be old school because of the chassis under it and all that kind of stuff, but hey, chassis came along, it was a smoking deal like we said, so away we go, right? So yeah, I think we'll pin some doors on and we'll see how it looks with the doors on it. Okay, I got the doors back on it. Beautiful lines on this car. Doors just line right up. Line right up. And there's our dash in there. Love it. Just love it. I'm not going to worry too much about moving anything around on the steering column right now because there's no point till I get a column. Plus the day's almost over. This door doesn't sit closed like the other one, but it would have had the latches in. But you can see, like, look at the lines on that thing. Just beautiful. Again, super stoked. Yeah. The LO leftover coupe. The old leftover coupe is coming along quite nice. I still got a half hour of time left here. I think maybe I'll clean up some of the tools and I might dig around and see if I can find that material I was telling you guys about. So give me a bit and I'll see what I can find here. Okay, I found the one roll of it. I have another roll somewhere, and I have another roll of one too that's a little lighter blue. I think it's blue, but for some reason my mind keeps wanting me to go to red or something. I don't know, but anyway. I know there's another roll of this. I seen it laying there. I just dragged the one up to show you. Look at this old vinyl. I don't know how it looks in the camera. Look at the green and look at the flake in that. Ha ha! Be kind of cool. Make some door panels out of that. Like I said, I got another hunk here that's probably, honestly, it's probably the same size as this, if not a little bigger. This looks like this is around 4x4. And I know for sure the other one's at least 4x4 too. So, you know. But anyway, there's one. And like I said, I could have swore there was a lighter blue one here. I picked up a couple years ago. I've also got some white here. I mean, that kind of suits like a 60s kind of look. Really not this car, is it? But I don't know. This car, you know, even though this car's got a newer frame, forget about the frame. I want the car itself to look like it was probably 50s, okay? Excuse me, guys. All the dust in here. I want this car to look like it's from the 50s. I want that vibe going on. So, I don't know. Maybe they had this in the 50s. For all I know, they probably did. You guys tell me. A lot of you guys out there are older than me. I love the stories. I love talking with you guys. And, but anyway, there's one. So that's it. If I find the other one, I think that's a lighter blue or red. I don't know why I think I have a roll of red. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I have so much stuff, it doesn't matter. I never get rid of anything. You know, I'm a hoarder. Hey, thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Again, like I say, if you want, go on my Facebook. I know I say it all the time, Old Time Garage. You hit the subscribe button there on my Facebook. You're going to see reels during the week of stuff you don't see while we're filming. We'll be back here at you filming this week again. What's going on? We'll probably throw a video up Wednesday, Friday. Don't know what we're doing next Sunday. Don't even know if we're here next Sunday. Yeah, we'll throw a couple more up there for you. That's about it. Don't know how y'all thought of the day. Hey, oldtimegarage@hotmail.com. Let me know if you send me a message, because sometimes it goes to my junk or my spam. So I'd like to know if you sent me something, because I'd love to see the pictures of the old days, forgotten old days of your cars, your hot rods, all your stuff. Would love to see it. Somebody wrote into me, I think on one of my reels, and said it looks like their garage, my office or something. Send me some pictures. I want to see it. That'll be between you and I won't post that stuff. Don't worry. That'll be between you and I don't post people's private stuff unless you tell me to. But that's it for today. Let's say goodbye to the coupe. Yeah, she's sitting a little funny there. I put a jack stand under her. I was just checking my spring rate out on my coils before I go in. So that is it for this wonderful Sunday Funday. Hope you all had a good time. I will see you on Wednesday. And hey, thanks again.